morning. All right. It is my pleasure to call to order the first membership general meeting of the 86th Annual Convention of the American Quarter Horse Association, presented by Love's Travel Stops. AQHA is proud to announce Love's as the official travel stop of AQHA. We have, yes, give them a hand. We have two representatives from Love's present, Julie Bartell, Director of Marketing, and Amanda Coleman, Senior Manager of Brand Partnerships. Now let's turn your attention to the screen for a word from our sponsor.
Top off your tank at Love's and save 10 cents on every gallon of gas. And it all starts with the Love's app. Your stop should come with more than just fuel and food. At Love's, it comes with real savings too. Download now to start saving today.
AQHA members can take advantage of the newly updated Love's Reward Program in the Love's app, earning points on purchases of fuel and in-store merchandise like snacks and fresh food. Beyond rewards, the Love's app offers tools designed to make life on the road easier. AQHA members can use the route planner, check real-time fuel prices, locate dog parks and RV stops, book and turn on RV amenities and find restaurants, making every trip easier. Pull out your phone and scan the Q card on the screen to start saving. Thank you, Loves, for joining the AQHA family. I'm Chad Pierce, AQHA Chief Legal Counsel and Compliance Officer, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Las Vegas. I hope you'll find our agenda this morning informative and forward-focused as we look forward to the future of the association. At this time, I would like to welcome AQHYA First Vice President, Eldon Fredenberg of Strawn, Indiana, to lead us in prayer.
Please bow your heads and pray with me. Lord, we have been blessed to come together as one association to grow and learn because of your common passion, the American Quarter Horse. We are grateful for the opportunity to join with our fellow members and horse lovers this weekend. Coming together in fellowship is something we treasure more now than ever. We ask that you guide us in the coming days for the betterment of our industry, association, and community. And so we glorify you in our actions and words. Thank you for the time we share together and for the opportunity to enhance our association for the future. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Eldon. Now please join us in welcoming our good friend and South Point General Manager, Ryan Growney, to the stage.
Thank you. Morning, everybody. We're going to need a bigger boat here soon, but that's good, I think. On behalf of Michael and Paula Gahn, it's my pleasure to welcome you back to Las Vegas, back to the South Point. We love having this convention here. I don't think I've ever shared this, but when I got to the South Point July 23rd, 2010, Michael Gahn called Steve Stallworth and I in his office and says, I want two things for you guys to work on immediately. He says, one, I want the select show. Well, we didn't get that. But two, I want the AQHA convention. And he said it because he knew it'd be great here. He knew it'd be successful here, but also because of the Gahn family's love of the quarter horse. I think this year, Katie and Cookie Benuelos had the #1 4-year-old cutting horse in the country, which they are so excited about. It's been really fun to watch. But yeah. And now the grandkids are into it, and the family is obviously huge supporters, but also from a business standpoint, it does so much for us. We have 4 major components in this building. We have our locals, we have our convention business, we have our bowlers, and then we have our arena events. And my locals come for all different reasons: drinking, gambling, movies, bowling, bingo, whatever. My convention business comes for all different kinds of reasons. You name a type of convention: photo booth, DJ booth. 3 weeks ago, we hosted a first-time event. It was the LPA. One of the stools is over there, I guess. But it was the Little People of America. And there was hundreds of them running around this place. And actually, so I was giving a tour of the arena, and as I was walking out, they just got here, and there was, you see them once in a while, but not hundreds of them. And there were 7 of them walking down the hallway towards the arena. And my first thought was, I wonder if quarter horses are scared of little people, because I don't know how they're going to react. But in the arena business, we rented 16 or 17,000 stalls last year. And out of the 17,000 stalls, 16,000 of them had a quarter horse in it. Yeah. And it's just, now my bowlers, they only come for one reason too, but we also do the United States Bowling Congress Convention, so that works out well. But it brings so much liveliness to this property, and everybody always says, where you guys want to go? Let's go to the South Point. Why? What's going on? I don't know, but I know there's something, and 42 weeks a year, there's cowboy hats in the building, and that means a lot to us. So thank you all for being here. A couple quick property updates. Sorry, spa is closed. The good news is when it comes back September 19th, it will be one of the, if it looks anything like the renderings, it'll be one of the prettiest spas I've ever seen. So we're excited about that. The salon will be open in 10 weeks. The fitness center will close August 8th and also open back up September 19th. But this property is 20 years old, and we're trying our best to make sure it doesn't look it. So also elevators right now, by the time the NFR rolls around, we'll have 12 brand new elevators in the hotel tower. That was a 2.5-year project. If I'd known it was going to take so long, we'd have started earlier. Arena updates, we got a new moving walkway heading out. The one coming back will be done in 7 weeks. We have brand new lights in Prefert. So we upgraded the lights in the arena, and then of course you go into the Prefert and it's too damn dark. So we ended up changing, those lights got installed last week, and they came out very, very well. And then safety of the horse priority, so we just redid all the floors in the stalling area. So we're trying, we want to make sure this stays the most prestigious equestrian center in the country. And I just want to thank you all so much for being here. It means the world to us. Thank you. I've taken one selfie in my entire life, and it was this convention 2 years ago, and she just asked me if I'd do it again. I don't do Instagram or Twitter or nothing, but all right, here we go. Well, you can't take a picture of me taking a selfie. It's weird. All right, here, let's get as many as we can here. Let's go. Who wants in? We'll do 2. We'll go that side, and we'll do that side, and then someone can figure out how to crop them together. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you, Ryan. We truly appreciate you and the South Point team for hosting our convention and always making us feel welcome in Vegas. Now let's begin our introductions. Please help me welcome AQHA Chief Executive Officer Dave Dellen and his wife. Next, AQHA's Executive Committee. AQHA President Jeff Tebow of Piedmont, Oklahoma, and his wife, Vicki. AQHA First Vice President Jim Brinkman of Erickson, Nebraska, and his wife, Tana. AQHA Second Vice President Lori Buholtz of Waterloo, Nebraska, and her husband, Rick. AQHA Executive Committee member Ross Rourke of Andrews, Texas, and his wife Sharon. And AQHA Executive Committee member Randy Ratliff of Glencoe, Oklahoma, and his wife Susan. Representing AQHYA Executive Committee and Directors are President Harley Jo Jones of Romance, Arkansas. First Vice President Eldon Fredenberg of Strawn, Indiana. Second Vice President Madeline McLaren of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Executive Committee member Briley Leach of New River, Arizona. Region 2 Director Rowdy Wetz of Vail, South Dakota. Region 4 Director Colton Smith of Bellefontaine, Ohio. Region 7 Director, Madison Renfro of Findlay, California. Region 8 Director, Jake Houston of Douglas, Kansas. And Region 9 Director, Bethany Robertson of Speedwell, Tennessee. The notice to AQHA members of this annual meeting was published in the November-December issue of the American Quarter Horse Journal. I have been advised that there are 953 attendees who registered for the convention as of yesterday afternoon. We have more than 100 first-time attendees at convention this year. Will those first-time attendees please stand to be welcomed? The convention guidelines for this year's meetings are available at the AQHA registration desk. The guidelines and agenda for this convention were approved by the AQHA Executive Committee. Therefore, those guidelines and agendas will be followed during this convention. President Tebow has also appointed the AQHA Executive Committee to approve the minutes of this convention. In addition, the Executive Committee approved the usage of electronic voting devices for voting purposes at the membership business meeting and new board of directors meeting, which is the same method as previous years due to the accuracy and efficiency of the devices. If there's no objection, this procedure will be followed on Monday. This year, seating will be handled differently for the Monday membership meeting and the board of directors meeting that follows it. Board members with voting privileges should enter through the designated entrance to obtain their clicker and then proceed to the reserved seating area. And now let's move on to some special presentations. Please welcome AQHA President Jeff Tebow to the podium for the AQHA Presidential Address.
Good morning. Thank you for spending your time and money to be here, and thank you for being the heart of this association. I am grateful for the chance to have served on the AQHA Executive Committee for 5 years and as your president this year, and I'm proud to share a look back at what we've accomplished together. When I think about this past year, one word comes to mind: momentum. Momentum in how we better serve members, momentum in how we protect the welfare of the American quarter horse, and momentum in how we position AQHA for a strong future that is grounded in our mission, guided by our strategic operating plan, and powered by the people in this room, AQHA staff, and our entire membership. This year, we spent a lot of time and effort creating the strategic operating plan. This plan will work in a very real way, not as a document on a shelf, but as a shared roadmap for success. A roadmap for decisions, priorities, and accountability. Its number one goal is increased member satisfaction and retention, and it will help us stay aligned around what matters most. Across departments and programs, the strategic operating plan has and will continue to serve as a filter. Does it strengthen the membership experience? Does this add benefit to members? Does this move the mission forward? Does it protect the horse? Does it help ensure AQHA is sustainable and relevant for the next generation? This focus matters. It will continue to act as the North Star in decision-making for staff and should be considered by committees making decisions on behalf of the membership and the horse this weekend. One of the most visible accomplishments this year has been the continued evolution of MyAQHA, including the launch of the revamped online registration application. This is a big deal, and I want to pause there for a moment. Registration is foundational to AQHA. It's not only a service, it's the part of the promise we make to our members and to the industry. Moving online was not simply flipping a switch. It required careful planning, security, process redesign, program, diligent testing, and the kind of behind-the-scenes work that isn't always glamorous or visible, but it's absolutely essential. Along the way, we also made meaningful improvements across my AQHA experience. We enhanced usability, streamlined steps, improved navigation, and strengthened reliability so the members can more easily manage their business, their relationship with AQHA in one place. And I'll be the first to say the digital transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. So here's what I want you to know. We're listening as an executive committee, as a staff, as the leadership of this organization. We are committed to continuous improvement in technology, and we will keep making my AQHA better for our members because your time matters and your experience with AQHA should be as strong online as it is in the arena, at the ranch, on the track, and in every community where quarter horses are a part of life. With the help of the strategic operating plan, we will stay focused on what AQHA exists to do. Serve our members, promote the American quarter horse, protect the integrity of our breed, and ensure its welfare. To strengthen the association, we need the steady work of supporting competition opportunities and recognition programs that members count on across disciplines, regions, and levels, including the Kimes Ranch Competition Award Fund for our youth. We improved member education and outreach, including adding many new fan-favorite awards through sponsored events. We continued safeguarding the horse and supporting responsible ownership through welfare-focused initiatives, preparedness, thinking, and industry leadership. We forged partnerships and sponsorships that helped expand what we can offer while supporting the broader equine industry, including the addition of new partners that include Yeti and Loves. And just as importantly, we invested in the future youth engagement, pathways for new enthusiasts, more opportunities for young adults, and efforts to ensure the quarter horse remains essential for next generations of riders, owners, and fans. The truth is that every Gold Globe, every registration certificate, every membership renewal, and every program improvement cannot happen without the expertise and the commitment of our AQHA staff and involved and caring members like all of you. To our team in Amarillo, to our affiliates, to our judges, stewards, committee members, show management, show and race trainers, breeders, corporate sponsors, directors, and so many other hats you wear, thank you. The foundation work this year speaks for itself, and it speaks to the strength of our membership. After celebrating the Foundation's 50th anniversary and reaching a strong, sustainable financial position, we launched our first capital campaign in 20 years, raising $15 million towards our $16 million goal in just 12 months. That's right. And that's thanks to many of you that are here today. Those dollars are already at work. We've completed phase 1 of the American Quarter Horse Hall of Fame and Museum renovation, and we'll share a first look at phase 2 during the Hall of Fame induction and reunion celebration in Amarillo on September 11th and 12th. We continue investing in the science that protects the horse's health, surpassing $440,000 in research grants and awards to universities. And we're investing in the next generation. This year, we awarded 53 scholarships totaling more than $460,000 supported through the American Quarter Horse Foundation. To every donor, thank you. On behalf of the Foundation's Board of Trustees, we're grateful for your trust and for the way you continue to step up for the American Quarter Horse. I hope you'll stay for the Foundation lunch immediately following this meeting and see firsthand how your support is shaping the future of the American Quarter Horse. We need each one of you to give forward, no matter the amount. As you know, our organization recently experienced a leadership transition. Through it all, our commitment remains the same: serving our members, protecting the future of the American Quarter Horse. We thank Carl for his service, for his years of service, and wish him well. Last year, the Executive Committee and I took on the important responsibility of selecting the next CEO for this moment and for the future. With the input from past presidents and staff, we approached this with care and intention, defining the needs of the role, seeking a leader with both operational strength and member-centered value, and engaging in a thoughtful search grounded in what AQHA is and what AQHA must become. The process led us to Dave Dillon. Dave brings a strong blend of industry leadership experience and a clear commitment to listening, learning, and leading with purpose. We are fortunate to have him, and we are excited about the knowledge and energy and leadership he brings. Dave, we're glad you're here, and we look forward to working together to deliver on the strategic operating plan and keep AQHA moving forward with strength, transparency, and clarity. Let's hear it for Dave Dillon. Before my time on the stage comes to an end, I want to thank a few people without whom I would not be here today. My wife, Vicki, and our daughters, Ann Elizabeth and Meg. Please stand. For those that know our family, you already know Vicki's the real horse expert in our family. The past 25 years we've spent together has always been focused on the quarter horse, and I know she would agree everything we have is a result of this amazing animal, and God used it to bring us together. Vicki, I look forward to what the future holds for us, and the one thing I know for sure, it will involve horses. I'm happy to announce our oldest daughter, Ann Elizabeth, past AQHA president, is about to graduate from medical school as an MD doctor. And next Friday, we're going to find out where she goes to do her residency. Meg, former AQHA Regional 8 Director, just graduated with her master's degree in business and has started her business career. I know without a doubt these young ladies are ready to chart their course in life because of all their experiences this association and being involved with horses has afforded them. The one thing I'll tell you two girls is never be without an American quarter horse. It's stay involved. Look around this room. These are our people, our friends, and the best people you could ever imagine doing life with. To my friends I've served on the EC with, thank you. I've learned things from each of you, and together we have made a difference. Lastly, there are a couple of men that made an investment in me, and I know without a doubt gave me opportunities that changed my life. Dr. Charles W. Graham and John Andrini have both passed away, but I owe them just about everything. And lastly, Mr. Johnny Trotter, thank you for the call many years ago and for encouraging me to consider being on the executive committee. Without your encouragement, I would have never considered it. Thank you, Cowboy. As we look ahead, I want to close with this. AQHA is strong because our members are engaged and because they are deeply passionate about the horse and this association. Our horse is strong because our community is committed to protecting the welfare and the integrity of the breed. And our future is strong when we keep our focus on service, integrity, and the next generation. We will keep improving how we serve members through technology like MyAQHA, through programs and events that create opportunities, through responsible leadership that protects the horse, and through our strategic plan that keeps us aligned and accountable. Thank you for your membership. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for everything you do to tell the quarter horse story, one ride, one ranch, one show, one race, and one family at a time. God bless you, and God bless the American Quarter Horse Association.
Thank you, Jeff. Next, please welcome AQHYA President Harley Jo Jones for the AQHA President's Report.
You probably wouldn't believe it. If you've met me, you know I'm a bright, bubbly person who is always smiling, but there was a time when I was scared to talk to people, scared to raise my hand, scared to make new friends, and definitely scared to stand in a room in front of people like this. Horses became my safe place. They didn't ask questions, they didn't judge, they just taught me confidence, patience, trust. Through the American Quarter Horse Association, that quiet confidence grew into something more. AQHA gave me a place to belong, a voice I didn't know I had, and the courage to lead beyond the barn aisle. My name is Harley Jo Jones, and I'm truly honored to stand before you as the American Quarter Horse Youth President. I'm proud to be part of an organization that doesn't just build great horsemen and horsewomen. It builds confident leaders, lifelong friendships, and belief in yourself. This year, our theme is Make It Count. Make the miles count, make the friendships count, make the late nights, early mornings, and every conversation count. And I'm proud to say this board has truly done just that already, and we're just getting started. This past year, the Youth Excellence Seminar was one for the record books. We had the largest youth attendance in the past decade, having 200 attendees electing the largest youth board in AQHA history for the 2025-2026 year. We welcomed youth representing 10 different countries, proving the impact of AQHA is reaching far beyond our own barns. Youth and adult attendees were invited to participate in the Following Your Path in Life interactive workshop hosted by Dr. Bob Coleman from the University of Kentucky. This session encouraged participants to explore the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? While evaluating personal goals and opportunities within the horse industry by challenging attendees to think initially about their futures, the workshop set the tone for a day focused on growth, preparation, and purpose. Building on that momentum, lights, camera, action. Returned with high energy and hands-on learning. Participants engaged in interactive breakout groups, working through interview scenarios and demonstrations designed to strengthen confidence, communication, and preparation skills. The session offered practical tools to help attendees present themselves professionally as they pursue their goals within the industry. Ward Stutz, recently retired AQHA Director of Breed Integrity and Animal Welfare, gave an informative session covering current legislative issues impacting the equine industry. Attendees gained a better understanding of how advocacy and involvement can create meaningful change and strengthen the future of the horse industry. Fifth generation rancher, youth programs innovator, and creator of Basically Famous podcast, Tyler Schuster delivered an inspiring keynote address focused on leadership and how to be your own brand. She encouraged youth to embrace authenticity, share their stories, and build their own brand by representing who they are inside and outside of the horse industry. Yes, it wasn't just an event, it was a launching point. We didn't just attend sessions, we found our voices, we built confidence, we connected across regions and across countries. That's what it looks like to make it count. At the 2025 AQHA World Championship Show, we saw incredible growth and engagement across all areas of youth world. The show featured over 5,000 entries representing 37 states and 4 countries. Showcasing the talent, dedication, and passion of our members, participation also increased in contests across the board. The speech contest, following a rule change proposal submitted by a youth member last year, quadrupled. The horse judging contest alone brought together more than 170 youth participants. Over $1 million prize money was awarded throughout the event, both inside and outside of the arena. Beyond the competition arena, Youth World continued to create meaningful experiences for exhibitors who expanded engagement opportunities and strengthened partnerships, including the Kindness Ranch Competition Awards. Events such as the College Fair, daily ice cream socials, the candy shop, and the Parade of Teens, featuring a live performance by the Costellos, followed by a dance, helped foster connection, leadership, and community among the members. Building on that same spirit of connection and impact, we're continuing to make it count through the work of our Community Service Committee. Last year, we introduced affiliate baskets for the first time, raising $2,000 for the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge in Oklahoma City. For the second year in a row, we also hosted a school supply drive collecting more than 1,000 items to support local Oklahoma City schools. After the tremendous success of the event, we're excited to bring back the affiliate basket competition at Youth World. This initiative is not only encouraging teamwork, creativity, and friendly competition among affiliates, but also creates a meaningful opportunity to give back. This year, we are also launching the Be Heard movement drive. Through this effort, we will collect hygiene and essential items such as shampoo, body wash, towels, cleaning supplies, and bottled water to support those in need. Like the competition the year before, this will be as structured as a regional and affiliate challenge to maximize participation and impact. In addition, the Community Service Committee is developing a list of service ideas to help affiliates remain actively engaged in service throughout the year, ensuring that the spirit of giving extends far beyond Youth World itself. During our annual Washington, D.C. trip, we had a record number of lawmaker visits. Nearly 40 meetings were held with senators, representatives, committees, and industry partners. One highlight was meeting with USDA, Undersecretary, and the agency headquarters. That means youth voices were heard in rooms where decisions are made. We didn't just talk about horses, we advocated for the future of the equine industry. We educated ourselves on policy and animal welfare. We stepped into conversations that mattered to the equine industry. Through our international committee, we have been intentional about expanding opportunities across borders. We're developing international video series, increasing the accessibility with Spanish captioning, and planning international workshops and receptions at the Youth Excellence Seminar. We've strengthened communication with our regions and affiliates worldwide. We've seen international representation grow from events in Latin America to representation at European AQHA meetings to clinics in partnership with Mexico QHA professionals. AQHA is not just a national, it is global, and that global connection is only getting stronger. Their outreach committee has been hard at work connecting with communicating with organizations like 4-H, FFA, Interscholastic Equestrian Association, Youth Equestrian Development Association, National High School Rodeo Association, and more, expanding awareness of AQHY opportunities beyond traditional spaces. Our social media presence has grown, our regional communications have strengthened, our engagement has increased. We are not waiting for youth to find AQHY, we are going out and inviting them in. Across our regions, we've seen record attendance at conferences, new events created increased outreach efforts, and even regions rebuilding leadership teams from the ground up. From leadership conferences with 60+ attendees like Region 5, to new youth conferences being held just like Region 10, to food drives, stock show booths, Easter egg hunts, seminars, and newsletters, our directors have been intentional about reaching out where youth are. In Region 2 and 11, regions that previously had minimum regional director representation now have 3 active leaders and are growing membership. That's what happens when youth decide to make their leadership count. As someone who found confidence through a horse first and leadership through AQHY second, I don't take this lightly. I am proud of this board. I'm proud because I've watched this team show up for each other. I've watched the officers and directors step outside of their comfort zones, lead conferences, and advocate on Capitol Hill. I've watched members submit rule change proposals and mentor younger youth. Together, we've represented AQHY with integrity, strengthened connections across our industry, and created opportunities for the members who will lead after us. The accomplishments of this year are not defined by one event or one moment, but by a collective effort of a board that chose to show up and work hard and lead with purpose. I'm incredibly proud of what we have accomplished together on what else we will accomplish together as a board. I'm even more excited to see the future of AQHA because of the example this team has set. Thank you to the American Quarter Horse Association for supporting AQHA, for having faith in us and giving us the opportunity to become the next generation of leaders for the association. Thank you.
Thank you, Harley Jo. Your leadership and dedication to AQHY are inspiring, and we are proud of the future you represent. Now, we are going to shift gears into our treasurer and CEO report for the association. Andrew?
Well, howdy and good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good morning thus far and has enough caffeine in their system. I'm going to do my best to make sure I don't bore you to death because it's financially specific. So, all right, well, folks, we are in another good year, and so to give you an overview of where we stand from a financial standpoint, I'm going to talk through these respective points. Highlights and accomplishments for the fiscal year 2025. Focal points for both the association and the foundation from a financial aspect. Financial statement review, which was included in our audit report, as well as the areas of emphasis for fiscal year 2026 and beyond. Okay, so highlights for fiscal 2025. We did have the completion of a timely audit and completed on opinion with no audit findings for a third year in a row. This goes back to a lot of hard work that the association staff, finance, and our respective finance committee have worked diligently to make sure we continue to successfully meet our obligations to having this audit done. We also have $15.8 million in change in net assets for the association, which is about a 24% increase over last year, and $6.2 million change in net assets for the foundation, which is a 9% increase. Now, the change in net assets equates to net income. So to try to translate that for those of you folks, that's our bottom line. So we did very, very well on both sides, the association and the foundation. Again, we also created a great return on our expended dollars. So 84% of our expended dollars went right back into member programs on a consolidated basis. So take, for instance, a $1 that's spent for all of our operating expenses, 84 cents of those dollars went right back into membership programs. That's creating the value for you as our respective members. We also have continued strength in our investments, and we returned a note of 8.92% for the association and 9.56% for the foundation. Our investments continue to do well for us, and that is the foundation and the sustainability for us on a go-forward basis. Provide us with the reserves we're going to need for the future. Now, net income for the operations for the association was $10.9 million, which again shows sustainability and resilience to what we've done. This is very much in line with what we did last year, and we continue to see this strengthen. And again, that $10.9 million is part of our ability to go right back into the membership and create value. Okay, a few focal points relative to the association. So what I wanted to kind of bring out to everybody's attention is first I talked about the 84 cents per dollar that goes right back into membership programs. So this chart kind of shows some of that. I'm not getting too deep in the details. I don't want to put everybody to sleep this early in the morning. But again, I think that's a testament to how hard we're working to make sure that we are trying to qualify and quantify everything we possibly can do to create value for our respective membership. I think on a go-forward basis, we're going to do everything we possibly can to make that 84 cents go to 85 cents, 87 cents, 90 cents. At 84 cents, it actually puts us in probably the highest echelon of nonprofits that are out there. So you also be very proud about the fact that how well we are doing relative to creating that kind of value for our members. Revenue production was up year over year. So you can see we went $70.8 million for the FY25. Versus, not just shy of $69.7 million in FY24. We continue to find ways to create more revenue as well as ensure that we have better profitability in the things we do. Again, as a nonprofit, we're not trying to create profit, but we are trying to create the ability to put those capital assets right back into membership, into the operations, and better customer service. Now, the other part of shows the net assets, which I mentioned before. We went from $65.6 million last year to $81.4 million this year. So very good growth for us on a bottom line basis. Moving on to, and I'm not going to bore you with the actual ratios themselves, but the net asset ratio really is meant to show sustainability and stability. So what does that mean for us as an association? Stability is the here and the now. That means the greater that respective ratio is, it shows that we have the wherewithal to ensure we can create and support the operations that we have today. And then the sustainability is the long-term aspect, which means as that percentage continues to grow, the long-term vision that we have, including the strategic plan and all the other programs we want to bring to fruition, are going to be able to be supported because of how well we've done from a financial aspect. So we continue to try to push that up and continue to focus on sustainability and stability as we go forward. Now, the working capital turnover, that's really just a view of operational efficiency. So the higher that number is that you see there, the more efficient we are as an organization. As you can see, we went from 4.47 last year to 5.59 this year. That means we're becoming more efficient. This is a critical path for us because we're trying to do everything we can to make sure that every dollar counts in everything we do. This helps to keep us, again, stable, sustainable, but in the same respect allows us to make the proper decisions to support future endeavors that we have from an association standpoint. Okay, going to turn my attention to the foundation. Again, as Jeff Tebow had mentioned in his speech, the foundation continues to strengthen its financial position, and they continue to do spectacular work in everything that they're trying to get accomplished. They are once again considered at the platinum level for transparency from Candid. Candid is a platform that takes a look at all nonprofits and foundations that are out there and effectively grades them on how well they do relative to how transparent they are and how well they're doing to support the dollars that are coming in. So again, the foundation has once again been given platinum, which is the highest level of honor given by Candid accordingly. Charity Navigator is another platform, and again, we're at a 4-star rating. That again puts us as a foundation into the upper echelon of all the foundations and the nonprofits that are out there. Now, specifically for the foundation, we're talking about 84 cents per the dollar. They actually had created 80%, so that's 80 cents per dollar created through what they brought in from them. It goes right back into member programs on their side. And so that again is a spectacular number, and again puts them on a standalone basis in a great position in the upper echelon as well. Part of what the foundation has continued to do is really talking through sustainability. In other words, their liabilities are less than 1% of their assets. Their working capital ratio is providing them with greater than 20 years worth of operating capacity, which is spectacular. Their fundraising efficiency, which you can see up here, is less than 10 cents for every dollar to contributions is what they expend in order to bring those contributions in. That's a spectacular, spectacular number. So the more efficient they are, the lower that number is. So by all means, the foundation has done a spectacular job of trying to do everything they can to be highly efficient, highly effective. Now, in the same respect, there's a few other things that they've kind of been working on, and I want to make sure we highlighted it here. They continue to try to demonstrate programmatic impact in everything that they do, and they're maximizing their endowment spend, and they're really trying to execute well on their long-range plan. So as we have a strategic plan for the association as a whole, the foundation also has a long-term plan, which is kind of their strategic plan as well. It's been in place for at least a couple of years, if not longer, and they continue to thrive and excel and hit all of those respective buttons as we go along. They're also looking to grow their donor base and to drive annual unrestricted giving. Now, that being said, you may all see some of these cards that are on your tables right now. Take a pretty good look at those things, because we're going to ask for your assistance when we come to the luncheon here in just a few minutes. So we are asking for everybody to kind of step forward, being evangelists not only for the association, but being evangelists for the foundation as well. Additionally, the foundation is looking to secure, lead gifts and launch public phase of the advocating our legacy renovation capital campaign, which I just mentioned. We do want to make sure that this is not just for a specific group, it's for everybody. This is your association, this is your foundation. Please take that to heart and be proud about the fact that you're part of that as a member. Okay, moving into the financial statement review, and I'm just going to hit some highlights. I don't want to bore you and read every single line. This will be included in the annual report. So this is part of the audit report that's also going to be part of that annual report that should be coming out momentarily. So for the association, we actually ended up with $110 million in assets. Again, that tells us we're a formidable balance sheet company. What does that mean? That means with the additional assets that we've increased over the years, this allows us to, again, to continue to find ways to be better as an association, to find better value for our respective members, and to create more programs, and to do what we can to bring in new members and those that are interested but don't know quite yet how to get involved. We want that to be part of the case. Having more assets allows us to have the financial wherewithal to be able to support those types of programs and all those outreach programs as well, to bring in new members and to keep our members in place. So the Harley Joes of the world and all the youth members we've got, we want them to stick around a while, and that sustainability is exactly what that means. Having more assets allows us to make sure 20, 30 years from now, when they're up here running everything, we've got plenty of money to play with, and that's exactly what we want. So, again, total net assets for the association, $81.4 million. That continues to show how well we're doing from an efficiency standpoint. Again, net assets technically equates to what you see as kind of the leftover amount after we've done everything else. And so that's what carries forward effectively in the next year for operations. Now for the foundation side, they had about $78.3 million in total assets. So again, a very formidable balance sheet. Again, they're doing extremely well in bringing in pretty large contributions, but do want to get to smaller donors as well, so every dollar counts. But that's, again, part of the allure to this is the better we can create a balance sheet for the foundation, the more that they can provide in endowments, the more that they can provide in grants, research grants, the more that they can provide in scholarships and outreach and other things that we do. Again, they had $77.8 million in net assets. So again, another indication of how well, from a financial aspect, the foundation is doing as well. So you as members should be very proud about that without question. I know this is maybe a little bit hard to see. Again, this will be part of the audit package in the annual report. But revenues for the association were $70.8 million for this year. Again, a great year, increased year over year. And then the change in net assets, our net income was $14 million. So the difference that you may have seen from the $10.9 million we're talking about operating income versus net income, that usually comes from investments and the other things that we do that makes up the difference to get us to net income. So again, a very good picture of the things we're trying to do. Very strong P&L. Foundation statement. Same thing here, 9.4 in total revenue produced, and change in net assets for them was $6.2 million. Again, shows a very, very formidable P&L for the foundation. Shows we're really firing on a lot of cylinders financially, which again supports the operation, supports the mission, supports the members, and everything that we're trying to get accomplished. Now, the last piece I want to talk about is some of the areas of focus for 2026 and beyond. So we've worked hard over the last 3 or 4 years to really try to optimize the business processes, the efficiencies within the business. And this is an ongoing thing for us. You know, best practices tells us you're going to continually try to do better every single year, and that's exactly what we're trying to do as an association and as a foundation. So the more efficient we can become, the more effective we become, the better customer services, the more value we can create for the members, the more programs we can have, and so forth. And so we're going to continue to make this a focus of ours in 2026 and beyond. There's always a better way to do things. You know, we are the 800-pound gorilla in the room when it comes to the equine industry. We got to act like that, and we're going to make sure we are supporting and protecting the dollars we have accordingly. Additionally, we're working hard to, grow and enhancing our corporate partners. We thank them very much, and they're in the audience this morning as well. We couldn't do what we do without the corporate partners, and by all means, we are looking to expand those, enhance those relationships, And Jen Sanders and her team have been doing a spectacular job of bringing in new and exciting corporate sponsors and also continually working the relationships with our current sponsors as well. And so we couldn't do without you, so thank you all very much. Appreciate that. Building better customer service through our strengthening culture. We have been working diligently the last 4 years to create a culture inside the building that is customer service specific. What does that mean? If we are better as individuals within the business, we are better at customer service with each other, we're absolutely going to be better at customer service with our members. That's the most important thing that we do on a day-to-day basis. When a member calls in with a question, when a member has an issue with their respective registration papers, when a member wants to donate dollars to the foundation, we want to make sure that they're getting the utmost in customer service in everything that we do. That's part of the value creation that we need to make sure we never forget about when it comes to the membership. So that's always going to be top of mind, but we're going to continue to find ways to make it better for you. And we certainly would love to hear anything that you might want to share with us. Maybe not today, but we're going to be around to hear about that. Staying focused on financial stability and sustainability. I can't say that enough. Stability is the here and the now. We want to make sure that there's nothing that comes down the pipe that we can't handle, and we are certainly in great shape to handle that. Sustainability is, again, it's our legacy, it's our financial legacy. How to ensure that 80 years from now, the AQHA is still having a convention, that they still are growing as an organization, and that we have the next and the next and the next generation of members strong and happy and doing what they want to do and supporting our mission and supporting the American Quarter Horse. Lastly, growth in membership. We continue to focus on this because we know that there's so much value associated with being a member, but we still need to do a better job of getting the word out. We're working hard to do that, but what I'm going to charge everybody in this room with is be an evangelist for us. Help us to find somebody new that you think would be really, really interested as a member of this association. Bring them in. We want them to be part of this family. We're a family of nearly 233,000 members, and I'm a member myself too. We want a bigger family. And I think that's, again, gets us back to sustainability and stability. So the more we can do to grow membership, the better. And with that, I'm going to turn things right back over.
Thank you, Andrew. We now welcome AQHA Chief Executive Officer Dave Dellen to the stage. And before Dave gets started, I noticed that I failed to mention your wife by name just a moment ago. Julie, will you please stand? Julie, you are going to be a very large and a very important part of our family, and we welcome you to our family. So thank you, and I apologize. Dave.
No worries. Man, what a great way to spend a Saturday morning hanging out with 950 of our best friends talking about the horse that we love. So I cannot think of a better thing to do this morning, and I just want to start off before I get into some numbers and some of the details. I want to start off just a little bit talking about our staff. I have been able to witness the AQHA staff over the last 60 days, and I just have to tell you how impressed I am. They get up every day and work tirelessly throughout the day to be able to provide service to all of you all as members. So if there are any AQHA or AQHF staff in this room, I'd like for you to please rise. And let's all give them a huge round of applause. When I say tirelessly, I mean that. I have gotten emails at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., all hours of the day and night. They are constantly trying to make AQHA better, and it's something I deeply appreciate, and it's something that I'm very much looking forward to in the future, getting to work with this excellent group of people. As many of y'all know, I've been this organization, I should say, has been a part of my life ever since my childhood. So to stand before you today, being asked to serve as CEO is something that is incredibly humbling and a great honor and something I deeply, deeply appreciate. I also want to say a huge thank you to our executive committee because they put in a huge amount of time and effort every single week, week in, week out, all the time, focusing on our organization, and they are truly unsung heroes in making this thing happen day in and day out. So thank you all to our executive committee as well. Okay, let's talk through a few numbers here. So, as you guys may or may not have seen in some of the summaries that we've put out, registrations totaled just over 90,000 last year in 2025. Memberships reached 225,000. So that's a great number, good strength there. We completed 109,500 transfers, which is an excellent indicator of solid market activity, and that's something that I am very, very excited to be able to see that. The 25 mayors reported bread increased up to 112. So with that, we're expecting 92,000 registrations in 2026. That's the direction we want to go. We want to continue to keep pushing that higher and higher. We also continued our fan favorite initiative, which as you all, if you haven't experienced that or been to an event where we've done a fan favorite, it is a huge hit. I love it. Everyone surrounding it loves it. People love voting on it. It's a great, great initiative that I love to see and want to see that continue. Let's talk for a minute on these corporate partners because they are a critical, critical component. I know we've mentioned them a couple times. One of the things that I want to mention about our particular set of corporate partners that is really, really critical is that many of them have the same or a similar mission to AQHA. And that is a critical component of us working together. That unity and working together to grow a larger quarter horse industry, to grow a larger equine industry as a whole, that's where our real strength comes from, is when we work together. Obviously, we're going to have differences of opinion. We have different interest areas, certain places that we're more interested in, one versus another. But the bottom line, we all want to see this industry grow, thrive, and survive. And that is a critical component and something I can't tell these corporate partners enough how much I appreciate them and what they do for AQHA. They are huge, and let's give them one more round of applause, please. Okay, our big events continued to see really good growth last year. We paid out $4.75 million in prizes and awards with over $1 million in prize money at the AQHA Markel and Adequan Select World Championship Show. The $1 million prize money in roping classes alone, that is a huge, huge improvement and something that I was very excited about as I saw that and look forward to increasing that as we move forward into the future. We're going to continue to drive towards greater prizes and awards every chance we get, every way we get, to be able to provide value back to competing at those World Championship shows. Another great aspect of 2025 is we got to crown our first world champions in the new OG&E Arena in Oklahoma City. If you've not been to that arena yet, I highly, highly encourage you to come to the World Shows this year. It is beautiful. It's incredible. Fantastic venue for us to be able to showcase the greatest breed on earth and something I'm very, very excited to see how that moves forward in the future. By June of 27, they are planning on having the connector built in between the Super Barn and that new OG&E Arena, providing another arena, full-sized arena, to be able to do whatever we need to do with. And that is a very, very important part of our future in Oklahoma City, is having more arenas and greater access to space for us to prepare and show our horses. So super excited about that addition coming to the Oklahoma City Fair Park. The AQHA World Championship show surpassed 1 million in purses and prizes, which is fantastic. Much appreciation to Kimes Ranch for helping with that effort. Our largest AQHA East Level 1 championship in history happened this past year, and an extremely strong West Level 1 championship. So those are great venues, great things that we love to see those L1 shows continue to grow, because as you all know, those are our newer people coming in, getting their feet wet, and that's where our future will come from. Amarillo hosted the AQHA Versatility Ranch Horse World Championship, something I am super excited to get to go to this year. I was not able to make it last year, but this year I'm very much looking forward to that, and I think that'll be another great event. And in 2025, this is probably most near and dear in my heart, we had our first year of AQHA approved small fry classes and saw over 5,800 entries across the country. That is incredible. Let's talk about Q data and Q stallions for just a second. AQHA provides the only information services in the world with both AQHA points and awards and money earning detail in one-stop resources. This is a huge member benefit. All research, sale catalogs, and most quarter horse marketing and promotion companies utilize Q Data's services today, and the Q Stallions had 385 subscribed stallions and 3.72 million page views in 2025. That is incredible. Huge appreciation to Robin Glenn. I see her right there. Thank you, Robin, your entire team. Great member benefit, and it is a great asset for AQHA, and I certainly appreciate all the hard work that goes into that. It is not an easy task keeping all that stuff straight, I can promise you. I want to touch base just a little bit on our strategic plan, and I'm not going to go into great detail. I could talk literally for hours about this, but I just want you all to know, if you haven't read it, it's on the website, it's been published on social media, you've heard it mentioned here 2 or 3 times this morning already, but please familiarize yourself with this strategic plan. I've worked under a strategic plan for the last 12 years. I love them. I think that they are incredibly valuable for the entire organization. This morning at 8 o'clock, we had an excellent conversation with the committee chairs about how to utilize the strategic plan within our committees. So this is something that is going to reach very far throughout our organization and our governance. And the bottom line to this is an excellent plan. As I reviewed this in the interview process, as I've learned more about it over the last 60 days in this position, and really thought through in detail, how are we going to accomplish this? I really believe this is an excellent plan for us to work on over the next 3 years. The beauty of it, and if anyone is worried, this does not handcuff you where you cannot maneuver within the environment or within the market. Markets change, things change. We fully appreciate that and understand that. We can adapt to what we need to while still holding true to our plan. And these get updated. If you've never worked under one, they get updated every single year anyway. So as time goes on, you'll see little additions, little changes as it goes, but this plan is really a good one, and I don't want to read you everything there, but when you think about investing in human capital and leadership development, that strengthens things for decades. It's a huge piece of where we want to go with this organization. So just the top line alone is something that really resonated with me when I read it, something I believe deeply in, and something I promise I will continue to work tirelessly on to be able to help move through and facilitate this strategic plan over the next few days. The last topic I really want to cover today is basically this process has been going on over about the last year. But as many of you all know, our building in Amarillo is 40 years old. It was built in 1984 and has served us extremely well over those last 40 years. Over the last year, staff has been working on a comprehensive facility evaluation because we've had some issues, water line breaks, those types of things. There's been some issues that have happened over the last few years. And as those evaluations have happened, and we've had engineers come in and architects come in and people look through that, many of our systems are at their end of life. The mechanical systems, when I say systems, I'm talking about the HVAC and water, electric, all of those types of things. And they're going to need to be replaced at some point in the near future. So as that has been evaluated, and we've been discussing this with the Executive Committee and the Finance Committee, all of those areas, we've evaluated many different options, whether that be building a whole new building or whatever it may be. We've kind of tried to think through all those paths and all those different options that you might want to think about in a situation like this. And the bottom line is this: our building structurally is in incredibly good shape. It's just those inner workings that need to be replaced. So renovation is going to be much more cost effective than any other option that we may have. The other thing that's important about this is the modernization for the future. Anytime any of us have ever built a building in our past, whether it's your house or whatever it may be, there's no way to really know what you're going to need in 30 or 40 years compared to what you need today. So as we were talking about this and working through it, the ability to have a design that was adaptable for changes in the future is something that's really important to us and something that we're evaluating. So before convention, I'm going to kind of break this up into two parts of what's been done and what will be done in the future. So before this time, for the past 2 or 3 years, the Executive Committee and Finance Committee have been very proactive in being able to anticipate those rising repair costs and potential need for replacement. And so they've been stockpiling some funds to be able to handle that. They've been allocated into both the short-term investments accounts and have no impact on the long-term investments or long-term savings of the organization. The positive market that we've all seen over the last 3 or 4 years has also been able to help strengthen that performance and grow those investments. So as all that has been prepared and we've looked through some architectural preliminary drawings, some designs, all those kind of things, we've made the decision as we move forward after convention to hire a project manager to protect AQHA's interests on the entire building project that works for AQHA and works with the architects and construction managers, as well as to build a steering committee to finalize design plans and finalize what the overall look and feel of this remodel will be. So as we work through that over the next few months, I just wanted to let everyone know those were the steps that have been taken and will be taken. We're very excited about being able to renovate what's needed, replace what's needed, because the bottom line to it, any type of renovation like this directly affects the ability to perform the services that we need to, okay? This type of renovation is not something where we're just going to bring in new carpet and wallpaper and we just want it to look nicer. The worst case scenario would be if we have some sort of issue where we do have a major flood of water or something else that really hurts some part of our technology department or something along those lines. So that being said, it's really important that we think through it. We're going to try to make it as cost effective as possible. I can promise you we will do everything in our power to keep this as cost effective as possible as we do that. And the good part, the good news of all of that, is that this will position AQHA for the next 30 or 40 years to where we can have a much reduced cost of repair, maintenance, energy efficiency, all of the components that you get whenever you do a remodel like that. And hopefully that will position us well for many, many generations into the future. In closing, I just want to say this. I am so appreciative to get to serve you, our membership. I love this organization. I've loved it ever since I was a small child. And to be asked to serve in this capacity is deeply, deeply meaningful for myself, Julie. I'm so appreciative of our children stepping in to help run the ranch in Elmore City to allow us this opportunity to move to Amarillo and to be able to serve AQHA. And I want to leave you with a quote that's really meaningful to me and something I think about a lot. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dave. Now, the allocation of directors for 2026. AQHA's allocation of directors is based on the total number of living horses as of September 30th, 2025, which was 3,117,374. Per AQHA bylaws, this resulted in 170 director positions broken down as 148 representative districts that have a major portion of the horse population, 5 positions for representative districts that have been granted the opportunity to take advantage of the 25% rule, and 20 positions for international countries that have been granted the opportunity to take advantage of the 5% rule. Unfilled vacancies exist in California, Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas, Washington, Alaska, British Columbia, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Czech Republic, Germany, Israel, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, Slovenia, Sweden, United Kingdom, and Venezuela. In addition to the annually elected directors, there are 23 past presidents, 30 honorary vice presidents, 109 directors at large, and 72 directors emeriti. The elevations of 2026 director emeriti and 2026 directors at large left the following vacancies: 1 in California, 1 in Washington, Alaska, 1 in Georgia, 1 in Oklahoma, 1 in Texas. Now let's begin with the 2026 Directors Emeriti who are with us today. The Director Emeritus position was established to honor directors who have served 10 cumulative years as an AQHA director and are at least 65 years old. Please come to the stage as I call your name. Dr. Steve Burns of Menifee, California, became an AQHA director in 2016. And a racing enthusiast, he has also been a member of the racing committee since that time. He also served 1 year on the AQHA Animal Welfare Commission. Dr. Burns? Rob Manili of St. Simons Island, Georgia, also became a director in 2016. Prior to becoming an AQHA director, Rob served for several years on the International Committee. In 2016, Rob began his service on the Show Committee, where he currently serves. Rob? Dolly Chair of Beggs, Oklahoma, became a director in 2016 and has served on the show committee for the past 10 years. Dolly? And now let's recognize our 2026 Directors at Large. These individuals have served AQHA for a minimum of 12 cumulative years. Please come to the stage as I call your name. Beth Austin of Fairbanks, Alaska, has been the director representing Washington and Alaska since 2014. She has served on the show committee and Professional Horseman Council. Currently, Beth serves on the Youth and Young Adult Committee. Beth? Valerie Clark of Elgin, Texas. Valerie began her services as a director in 2016. Val served multiple years on the Marketing and Membership Committee. She also served 1 year on the Recreational Activities Committee. She began her service on the Public Policy Committee 2 years ago, where she currently serves. Thank you, Val. Once again, congratulations to each of our 2026 Directors Emeriti and Directors at Large. Thank you for all that you have done and for your contributions to AQHA. Let's give another round of applause for all of our Directors Emeriti and Directors at Large. We will now take a moment to honor and remember those that we've lost since our last convention, and pay tribute to the meaningful contributions that they have made to our industry. We are deeply grateful for the lasting impact that they have made and for the legacy they leave behind. AQHA past president, R.A. Rob Brown Jr. of Throckmorton, Texas, became a director in 1966 and served the entire quarter horse industry, exampled by his service on the Finance, Hall of Fame, Racing, and Stud Book and Registration Committees. Rob was inducted into the American Quarter Horse Hall of Fame in 2004. Joe Carter of St. George, Ontario, became an AQHA director in 1983 and elevated to Director at Large in 2003. Joe's passion and experience with the show industry contributed his service to both the show and judges committee. Dr. Charlie Graham of Elgin, Texas, began his service on the AQHA Board of Directors when he became a director in 1983 and elevated to Director at Large in 2002. Dr. Graham served the majority of his time on the Equine Research Committee, but also served on the Nomination and Credentials Committee and the Public Policy Committees. Dr. Graham was inducted into the American Quarter Horse Hall of Fame in 2009. Ken Atkins of Laurel, Nebraska, became a director at the 2010 AQHA Convention and elevated to Director Emeritus in 2020. Ken's services included the amateur and show committees, as well as serving on the Professional Horseman Council for a year. Butch Hammer of Heath, Texas, became an AQHA director in 2002 and elevated to Director Emeritus in 2011. Butch's passion was racing, but he served on the Marketing and Nomination, Credentials, and Racing Committees, as well as the Racing Council. AQHA past president, Ken Moomey of Kalamazoo, Michigan, became a director in 1996. Ken served on many AQHA committees, including the Affiliate Council, Foundation Council, Hall of Fame Selection Committee, International, Marketing, Racing and Shows, and in recent years, the Nomination and Credentials Committee. Ken was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor these individuals, along with all of our family, friends, and beloved horses who have passed away since our last convention. Thank you. AQHA events would not be possible without the generous support of our partners. Please direct your attention to the screen as we take a moment to recognize and thank our convention sponsors and corporate partners.
The American Quarter Horse Association is proud to stand alongside partners who believe in the power of the American Quarter Horse and the lifestyle it represents. Because of our partner support, our members compete, learn, grow, and succeed. From the show pen to the ranch and racetrack, from youth programs to industry leadership, their commitment makes it all possible. Year after year, they've invested in our mission, championed our exhibitors, and strengthened the future of our association. Their generosity helps us uphold the integrity of the breed while supporting dreams, families, and a way of life. On behalf of the American Quarter Horse Association, thank you to all of our partners for your partnership, your loyalty, and your belief in what we do. We are proud to ride alongside you.
We invite all AQHA corporate partners and sponsors joining us today to please stand and be recognized for your generosity and continued support of AQHA. Okay, this is going to be fun and interesting. I'm looking forward to this. Before we adjourn this meeting, our presenting sponsor, Love's Travel Stops, has something fun for a few lucky winners. Please check underneath your chairs to see if you are a lucky recipient of a Love's fuel card. I told you this would be fun. I'm going to let it die down. Okay, if you are a lucky winner, let us know who you are. Hold your card up. All right. Thank you all for being here, and congratulations to our lucky winners. You can redeem your certificate at the registration desk. I would also like to remind everybody to attend the AQHA Political Action Committee reception and auction tomorrow at 4:30. The AQHA PAC supports members of Congress who champion the equine and livestock industries. we encourage you to help elect members of Congress who support our industry by supporting the AQHA PAC. We will now adjourn this membership general meeting and immediately call to order the Board of Directors meeting. As a reminder, the board meetings are open to registered convention attendees for observation. Since non-board members will be in attendance, all board members must identify themselves prior to speaking. This membership general meeting is adjourned.
I call to order the first Board of Directors meeting of the 86th Annual Convention of the American Quarter Horse Association. It has been my privilege and honor to lead this great association over the past 12 months. We have a full agenda for the remainder of the convention with open meetings of the AQHA standing committees taking place throughout this weekend. I would like to remind all the directors that, again this year, we will be using your badges to record attendance. You will be scanned when you enter and when you leave the room. Please make sure your badge is scanned so that you are considered present. If you have not been scanned in, please return to the entry door to do so now. As a reminder, you must wear your badges at all times to be able to vote during the meetings, to be considered present for roll call, and to attend the Board of Directors luncheon on Monday. Each director must also be scanned in at Monday's Board of Directors meeting to be considered as having attended this year's convention. New this year, seating will be handled differently for the Monday membership business meeting and Board of Directors meeting that follows. Board members with voting privileges should enter through the designated entrance to obtain their clicker and then proceed to the reserved seating area. Again, my personal thanks to each of you for your work on behalf of the association. I invite all convention attendees to join us at the Foundation Luncheon here in the Grand Ballroom. Doors will be open at noon and the buffet will begin immediately. The Foundation Luncheon will feature the announcement of the Hall of Fame class of 2026, in addition to exciting updates about the museum renovation. Following the luncheon, committee meetings will begin at 2 p.m. Once the meeting is adjourned, please exit the ballroom as efficiently as possible so we can get this place set up for lunch. At this time, since there's no other business to come before us, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.